In the field of behavioral research and evolutionary psychology, attraction is not solely based on material values or physical appearance, as the majority of men mistakenly believe. Empirical evidence shows that the true mechanism of attraction is driven by underlying psychological responses and unconscious behavioral patterns. Both men and women are governed by instinctual urges and emotional reactions that operate beyond conscious control. A lack of understanding regarding these mechanisms is the root cause of why many men fail to establish sustainable attraction. This analysis will decode 10 critical psychological nodes in female behavior from the objective standpoint of communication science and social dynamics. Grasping these sensitive emotional triggers will not only change the dynamic of relationships, but also forge a natural, highly authoritative magnetic pull. The first factor to examine is the primal need for emotional stability within an interactive environment. Although the decision-making system of females is often heavily influenced by emotional lenses, this does not equate to a lack of control. From an evolutionary instinct perspective, they constantly seek a safe harbor in terms of psychology. They crave a solid, tranquil state to counterbalance the continuous fluctuations of the surrounding environment. The attractiveness of a man is directly proportional to his ability to maintain psychological equilibrium under high-pressure situations. Erratic emotional outbursts, an easily agitated temperament, or an inverse dependence on the partner all broadcast biological signals of weakness. True safety is not measured by empty promises or current material assets. It is evaluated through the capacity for personal emotional management in the most adverse circumstances. If role boundaries are inverted, where the female must act as the emotional stabilizer for the male, the attraction mechanism is instantly neutralized. That is the moment the male loses his leading position and becomes a fragile entity in need of protection. Therefore, cultivating a resolute inner self and reacting calmly to all incidents is the foundational first step of unconscious attraction. The second aspect relates to the principle of scarcity in behavioral economics, applied directly to romantic dynamics. Human psychology is programmed to consistently assign high value to objects or assets that are difficult to access. When a man displays excessive availability, being constantly eager and predictable, his perceived value in the eyes of his partner will severely decline. Overzealous and continuous attention may provide temporary comfort, but completely eliminates the drive for conquest. Conversely, establishing a distinct personal space and maintaining a certain level of mystery activates the reward system in the partner's brain. They are compelled by the need to decode ambiguous signals and the desire to thoroughly understand the target subject. Calculated uncertainty in psychology always generates a magnetic force of far greater intensity than easy familiarity. To optimize this principle, men must maintain absolute independence in their personal schedules and control the pace of information sharing. Becoming an unsolved variable will sustain the flame of curiosity and a relentless pursuit. The third element is the nonverbal impact of a deep vocal tone and a normative, commanding presence. Research data in evolutionary psychology confirms that a compressed, deep timbre is a biological indicator of internal stability and leadership capacity. This is a type of genetic signal to which the female nervous system is programmed to react positively and completely automatically. However, vocal acoustics are merely a small fraction of overall body language and the personal energy field. True magnetism radiates from the ability to command the surrounding space without resorting to ostentation or verbal amplification. A grounded physical posture, a measured pace of movement, and a sharp gaze are all implicit messages of a high-tier social status. In contrast, negative microexpressions, such as a timid posture or fidgety gestures, will immediately betray a core lack of confidence. Refining body language and solidifying one's state of presence is a strategic step before entering any dialogue. The fourth crucial point is the invisible power derived from the willingness to walk away from a context that is no longer suitable. In attachment theory, the fear of loss always generates more intense psychological reactions than the desire to acquire something new. A systemic error among most men is activating a state of panic and attempting to cling on when perceiving a withdrawal from the partner. This reaction inadvertently lowers their negotiation position, broadcasting a desperate message of emotional dependency. A truly elite individual is one who possesses an autonomous mindset, ready to terminate interactions when boundaries of personal respect are violated. The unhesitating decision to walk away demonstrates the objectivity that their value is not dependent on external validation. Indifference toward the risk of a breakdown often creates a cognitive shock, awakening the desire to reclaim the lost attention. That is the inevitable consequence of solid self-esteem and strictly maintained personal standards. The fifth analytical factor focuses on the individual's goal-oriented system and core mission. From an analytical perspective, women are not solely attracted to tangible assets, but to the capacity and vision that created those resources. An individual living with a clear ideal and high discipline generates an incredibly powerful magnetic field. Turning a relationship into the sole center of existence is a direct cause leading to the decay of the initial attraction. Women desire to be companions on a grander developmental trajectory, where the man is forging values that transcend the personal relationship. Purposeful busyness makes the man an independent, elusive entity, escaping the loop of emotional control. A personal mission acts as a natural filtration system, liberating the individual from the need to seek frivolous attention. The sixth aspect is an analysis of the paradox of controlled vulnerability across communication levels. Absolute closure creates an invisible emotional barrier, while overexposure reveals the fragile weakness of the ego. Optimal attraction lies at a delicate balance point, which is the ability to share personal experiences while maintaining control over psychological developments. The revelation of hidden depths only provide profound connection value when the subject has proven the ability to overcome adversity independently. Women seek authenticity from a grounded elite individual, not a psychological profile requiring therapeutic intervention. Selecting the timing and limiting the information shared demands high-level emotional intelligence, turning vulnerability into a sharp communication tool. The eighth element involves unconscious pressure tests that frequently appear in behavioral interaction structures. This is an automatic evolutionary screening mechanism designed to assess the true resilience of the partner's nervous system. Artificial conflict situations or sudden cold attitudes are all measurement tools for stress tolerance thresholds. Reacting with defensiveness, anger, or rushing to explain will be immediately recorded by the evaluation system as a point of failure. The standard academic processing procedure is to maintain a neutral emotional state, responding with calmness and not get swept into sentimentality. Immutability in the face of negative external stimuli is the clearest testament to a solid internal boundary. The eighth aspect analyzes the reactive attitude towards rejection and its profound impact on personal status. Equating short-term communication outcomes with core personal value is the root of the fear of rejection. Through an expert lens, rejection is merely a data point reflecting incompatibility at a specific time and space. Facing rejection with an unfazed attitude and polite behavior broadcasts a powerful signal of abundance in mindset and social options.
A non-defensive behavior that does not attempt to salvage the situation perfectly preserves the individual's energy and self-respect. This calmness often alters the power structure and paradoxically triggers a level of curiosity from the very person who issued the rejection. The ninth element emphasizes the role of unpredictability in maintaining the cycle of unconscious desire. The central nervous system quickly becomes desensitized to cyclical and overly predictable stimuli. When all behavioral patterns and response speeds become absolutely transparent, the excitement of exploration is instantly neutralized. Effective interaction management requires controlling the pace of communication and maintaining a multidimensional, independent life ecosystem. Stimulating the counterpart to actively analyze and predict is the optimal method